Two New Zealand soldiers of German heritage who were killed in the First World War have finally been acknowledged thanks to 4 Taranaki schoolkids. Omata brothers George and Herman Bollinger were deliberately left off the memorial because of their heritage, and that just didn't sit right with students at the local school. Our Taranaki-Whanganui reporter Robin Martin has more.
About 100 people gathered at the Omata War Memorial southwest of New Plymouth today for the unveiling of the names of Sergeant G.W. Bollinger and his brother, Rifleman H. Bollinger, who both died on the Western Front in France. Among them were 4 students from Omata School who could scarcely believe that their project had resulted in a wrong that had lasted 100 years finally being put right. 13-year-old Shanae Julian says the brothers had been unfairly maligned.
They were born in Omata and they went to Omata School, and then they went to Boys High School, New Plymouth Boys High School. But when they went to World War I, everyone thought that they were like spies from the German because they have German ancestry, because their dad migrated here from Germany.
Classmate Kyan Broughton Pratt picks up the men's story.
George Bollinger, he was extremely loyal. He actually went back to fight again to prove his loyalty to New Zealand. And their cousins actually fought for the Germans also. So yeah, George was very loyal. And I'm pretty sure Herman died on his first trip, right? Yeah.
Lord Jesus Christ, we ask that you bless this memorial.
George served with distinction in Gallipoli and was chosen to return to New Zealand for officer training. But after protest about his German heritage, he volunteered to return to the front. George died from wounds received in action in 1917, while Herman fell the following year. Vadim Noonan says the brothers' names deserve to be on the memorial.
People just don't know what they're really doing when it comes to people fighting in the war. Like, if they thought that just because they fought and they had German blood that they don't deserve, if they died fighting for New Zealand, then they deserve to have their name.
Armed with their research, the students asked the New Plymouth District Council to have the men's names included on the Omata Memorial. Charlotte Butler says receiving news that they'd been engraved was quite overwhelming.
Yeah, like it's been like 100 years and nothing's happened, and then 1 year when people all band together and we try and do something, and it takes 1 year and 4 people to get it done, and it's just so awesome because we just all worked really, really hard, and to see that one email saying, you know, it's done, and then you're like, wow, we actually did this.
Not satisfied with that, using a school journal article written by a descendant of the Bollingers and a little help from the Anglican Society, the students tracked down relatives of the brothers who travelled to the ceremony today. Henrietta Bollinger wrote that journal piece. She says it's significant that the push for change has come from the community.
Having that harrowing experience, losing friends, and coming home and his community turning on him for having German heritage. So I think there's something really significant in the fact that it's his community that are rectifying this and that they're taking him back, essentially.
Ms Bollinger said she couldn't thank the youngsters enough for what had been an emotional experience.
Very moving to just feel like this injustice that was done to members of my family has been, that's been reconciled somehow.
Omata teacher Rhys Williams says the school is also proud of their efforts.
Started with a fairly innocent school program that we were looking at, and then we found out about George Bollinger and about his story, and these 4 in particular were up in arms as to the injustice, and they were pretty keen to do something about that. So with very little encouragement they went off and did a lot of research. There was a lot of nerves, but they did an awesome job.
It's said that the brothers' father, Max, died of a broken heart after hearing of their deaths. The Bollingers also had 8 relatives die during World War I, fighting for the other side. I Omata mo te hōtaka o te ahi ponei, ko Robin Martin ahau.